Hi Stampers, my name is Sandy Hancock. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I'm coming to you from Southern California. This is Monday, November the 25th, 2024, and I'm going to be showing you prints from nature's paintings today. So I'm going to just show you what this kit, what it includes. It includes 2 each of 12 prints, 8 watercolor pencils, and then it includes a watercolor painter. So you're going to get 24 cards if you color all of them, which is a really good deal for $25 because most of our kits have far less in it. But then again, this is just a pad of paper, watercolor paper with prints. So most of them I've already pulled out, but this is how it comes. Okay, so you just carefully tear it out. It comes out very easily, and you've got 24 prints. Okay, so, I also want to say watercolor is not my forte. So when I got this, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with it? I'm going to have to try to learn to watercolor again. I've never been very good at it. In fact, back when I lived in DeWarty, there was a stamp store on Myrtle. I can't remember what it was called. And Dee Grunig, who used to own Posh, I don't even know if Posh exists anymore, she was coming to that store to teach a watercolor class. I thought, okay, yahoo, this is going to be my big chance to learn watercolor. And it was a 2-hour class. By probably 20 to 30 minutes, I was looking at my watch thinking, are we done yet? Are we done yet? I just could hardly wait to get out of there. Not because of her. She was doing a great job. I just was not having fun. I didn't enjoy it. So these prints are much easier to watercolor. I don't even remember what she was trying to teach us, but I just wasn't getting it. So I haven't watercolored since then. That's been many years ago. Oh, I know, it was called Stampin' on Cloud 9. Yeah, so I haven't watercolored in a very long time. So one of the prints is the sunflower. And as you can see, you're going to cut it down because it comes 4 by 6. So the first one I mounted on Early Espresso, which to me is just a little bit harsh and dark. So then I decided, okay, let me take my layers. And I thought, hey, maybe I'll mount it on Garden Green because the markers are Garden Green, one of them. But then I added some colors to the green that it's not really Garden Green anymore. I thought, oh, I don't like that. What else could I do? So then I pulled out copper clay. I went, yep, I really like copper clay with this. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's a little bit softer than the Early Espresso. But you know what? We each have our likes. So if you like green, if you like Early Espresso, if you like the copper clay, whatever you like is going to work just fine. And then I'll also just mention that Stampin' Up! Has 2 other sets of watercolor pencils. So they have, you can add to your collection if you really enjoy. I don't even know why I have all these watercolor pencils because I don't use them. But I have them because it's fun to have them. So now has been an opportunity to use them, so that's kind of fun. So I've gone ahead and colored 2 of these because I didn't think you need to see me color 3 of them. So I'm going to take out the yellow, and I'm going to use a little bit of orange. And I'm going to use a little bit of Early Espresso. Okay, so I'm just going to, here's the one I did. Okay. No, yes, okay. So you can see what it looks like there on Early Espresso. So I'm just going to color in. Oh, I'm coloring the leaf. Good job, Sandy. There you go. Well, what a way to start a video. Okay, let's see if I can. Well, there's going to be a little yellow in that leaf, which exactly, actually it is okay. I guess it would have helped if I pulled out the green. Okay, there's green. All right, so I'm just going to start by putting a little bit of green. Actually, leaves are kind of pretty if they have a little bit of yellow in them. So, but it'll be the only one probably that has yellow in it. Does that mean I have to go back and add some yellow? Okay, to the other ones. So the first thing I want to do is just wake up the watercolor. That's what I call it. So I'm going to use the watercolor brush. So just look what happens when I put water on it. I literally just say it wakes up the color. And then I'm going to let it dry a little bit because what I found, oh yeah, well, I don't know. Am I going to go back and put yellow in the other ones? Not sure. Okay, I don't even know what I was saying. All right, so let me go back to, we're going to color the leaves. And then I'm just going to color them lightly. And like I say, I'm not a watercolor expert, so I know that you're supposed to kind of color the highlighted places and then pull the water out. And I actually have done that in some of the prints. But I didn't do it too much in this one, I don't think. So I'll just give these a color. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say is earlier this year, I was trying to find a better pencil sharpener for my eyebrow pencil because the eyebrow pencil I was using was literally just tearing up my eyebrow pencils. So I went to Aldi and I found this I found this pencil sharpener by Lancome. It cost me $8. I went, what? $8 for a little piece of plastic? But you know what? It is perfect. It not only works with my eyebrow pencils, but watch this, how easy. It only sharpens till it's sharp and then it quits cutting. Boom, see, it's done. It won't cut anymore. So it is perfect. This is Lancome and I got it at Ulta if you have anything like that close to you. Okay, so then I'm going to go back and highlight the lines a little bit. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to add a little bit of orange. And I'm going to wake up the yellow before I add the orange. And then I'm going to add a little bit of brown. So, you know, the fun thing about watercolor is you get to do whatever you want. You get to add what you want. Okay, now let's wake this up and pull some of the color to the end. Okay, it's just kind of cool, really, how watercolor works. You have to be patient. You know, my mother, honestly, she was the one that was so patient with crocheting and needlepoint. I got a project after I got out of college that was some type of needlepoint. It took me 1 entire year to finish it, and I vowed when I finish this, I am never picking up anything like this again, and I never have. I just don't have the patience for that. Okay, so now I'm going to let that dry a little bit and we'll put a little bit of brown. We're going to make the center a little bit darker. I found that if you go back and color on top of wet paper, too much color comes off. And I'm sure I'll be able to show you an example of that. So I'm going to want this pretty dark. And then I'm going to just color this out a little bit. And I love that they have markings in there for us. So you can just kind of color the markings, follow the markings. Okay, is that going to be dark enough? See, the nice thing is if you don't get it dark enough, you can always go back and add to. Now I'm going to go in. I'm just going to add little touches of orange. I think it brings a lot of interest into the leaves. So just a little bit. So you know what I was doing? I was out in my kitchen. I have a big counter and I put on a movie and I was just sitting out there, you know, doing some of this watercolor, and it helps me stick with it and be a little bit happier. Because like I say, I'm not super patient when it comes to this. Okay, then I'm going to go back and just add a little bit of early espresso. And I'm actually not going to put the watercolor painter on here again, because then it's going to just blend the brown and the orange and the yellow all together, and I don't really want that. Okay, does that kind of look like the other ones? I think it kind of does. All right, what is that right there? I think that was supposed to be yellow from the other flower. Okay, now let me go back and see if I can add a little bit of definition here. Again, I love how they have the lines there for you. My one little yellow leaf, whatever. Can you believe that? I mean, actually, it is really pretty to put yellow in there, but I didn't do it consistently. And then I think, you know, I think it actually is kind of cool to put yellow in there. And I probably like the yellow. I put a little bit of blue over those. I think I like the yellow better than the blue. Yeah, that one's just going to have to be what it is. Okay, so now I've cut Daffodil Delight. So I just started with the large card, and it's 5.5 by 4.25. And then this is just one. Oh, you know what? I was going to show you. I think I can still show. Yeah, I can still show you. I want to show you how I added clouds. You can do one of two ways. Is that straight? I believe it is. Okay, then we're going to put this onto copper clay. Like I said, I love it. Okay. I'm going to put it this way. You could actually put it any way you want. Or I could say either way you want, because you only have two choices. Okay. Then I'm going to take a glue dot. I made a bow out of linen thread. I don't think we actually have linen thread anymore, but if you're like me, you don't throw away your ribbons. And so I'm just going to put with a, okay, but it needs a little bit of blue for a background. So on this one, I wanted it really light. So I went back, I'm cheating. I used blue, Bashful Blue. This is a really old pad. We haven't had this color in many moons. I'll get the other, I'm going to squish the water out of here. Oh, something else I wanted to show you. You know, normally when you're going, if you screw this way, you're screwing it. And if you go to the left, you are, wait. Oh gosh, now I'm confused. This is made backwards. If you want to unscrew it, you screw it to the right. And if you want to screw it back together, you screw to the left, which is exactly opposite of what we do here in America. So I'm not sure where this was made. Anyway, what I decided to do is, instead of my normal clouds, which I also am going to show you, I decided to just put a little blue in here. And it doesn't have to be exact or perfect. But I'm just showing you this is one way that you can add some filler around the flowers to soften it up. It's just very light. In fact, I think this could be a little bit darker. It just adds some softness to it. I really like it. Okay, so that's one way you can add some clouds and filler to it. So, oh, I forgot to put embellishments on this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for embellishments. I still have to think about that. So here it is on copper clay. Here it is on early espresso. And on this one, because I didn't want it to be so bright, this is one of the first ones I did. You're going to crack up when I show you this. I'm talking like 20 years ago. Stampin' Up! Had these watercolor crayons. And as you can see, I hardly used them at all. But what I did on this print right here, I took the creamy caramel and I just went over the entire flower. And now I wouldn't, you know, the second time around, I'm not doing it that way. But anyway, some of you might have these watercolor wonder crayons, but like I say, I hardly used them. So there you go. Going one direction, going the other direction, copper clay, and early espresso. So this is print number 1. I have done nothing for the insides of these cards because there's no stamps to go inside. So I haven't really decided exactly what I'm going to do inside yet. So to be figured out. I'm going to put the lid over there. Okay, so card number 1. All right. Now, let me show you the chrysanthemum. This one is already mounted. So what I did here is, again, I put some orange and it's just a tiny bit of early espresso in there too. I think it adds a lot of depth to the chrysanthemum. This is the only print that you really cannot cut down to a regular size card. So it's oversized. And let's see, I was going to tell you how big it is, but I'm not sure what I did with my ruler. Oh, here it is right here. Okay, so this print is 6 by 4.5. So this was the original size of the print. Here's the original print, okay? I haven't finished this one, obviously, but you really can't cut it down because of the border, and you're going to lose your flowers. So if you have an envelope maker, I mean, years ago, Stampin' Up! Had an envelope maker, so I still have that. When I'm ready to mail these two, I'm going to use my envelope maker and make an envelope. And, you know, I also have extra envelopes out in my garage, and you may have them too since you're a crafter. I have oversized envelopes that have been for weddings and different kinds of things, so I may even have an envelope that this would fit in. You Are Loved is from Unbounded Love. I thought that was kind of cool. I didn't really want to put too much on here to cover up the flowers, so I did green and yellow here too. Okay, so that's print number 2. All right, print number 3. Oh wait, no, not that one. Okay. Print number 3. Okay, this one I absolutely love. Okay, so my friend, who I call the other half of my brain, helped me with the names of these flowers. I mean, I know roses and I know daisies. I mean, there are some flowers that I know, but I'm just not a flower person. And so I had to keep asking her, what is this? What is that? Okay, so she told me this one is a freesia. And I'm going to show you how I did this. Now, the first time I colored this in, here's the whole print. The first time I colored this in, I colored the whole print because I didn't know what I was going to do with it. The second time I did this, I cut it out first because why color the whole print if you're not even going to use it? That was like a waste of energy. So this is what I ended up doing. And I'm just going to show you. Oh, I think I was going to color one of these in. Okay. Again, I'm not doing a lot of coloring. Excuse me. I'm going to use the Berry Burst because it's so, so pretty. And on this one, I am going to just highlight exactly what the artist shows you to highlight and then just pull out the color. I think that's the idea, really, with watercoloring. And then I'm going to add a little bit here because, a little bit of lines because there's no line to color on and you need some color to pull out. Same thing there. I'm going to add a little bit of color, a little bit here. This just pulls out so delightfully. I even look like I know what I'm doing. Of course, I put my finger in something green and put it right there. Hello. Oh, well. Perfection, I guess, is not really going to happen here. Okay, so I'm squeezing my watercolor painter. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to pull the color out. See, even so, I was like, careful. Okay, and so it lightens up as you get towards the edges. This one is really easy to do, I thought. Kind of fun. It's called a nest. Ooh, let me see if I'm saying that right. Is it a... Oh, it's a freesia. Okay, it's a freesia. Just like we have a color brush freesia. Okay, so I'm just pulling the color out with my watercolor painter. Oh, so as I'm sitting and doing this, at times I'm going, am I done yet? Am I done yet? But like I say, I put a movie on so I could kind of enjoy doing this. I really actually did start enjoying this. So this is the perfect kind of kit for you if you love to color and if you love to watercolor and if you're patient. Okay, didn't that turn out pretty? Woohoo! I actually did it. I am so proud of myself. Okay, so what you want to do is let me show you. I used the Countryside Corners. Again, I have my two biggest ones just taped together because I so often use it. And I want the exact, I want my sides to be exact. And occasionally I have to pull this apart because I just need one or the other. But yeah, I actually cut it before I colored it because I didn't want to waste any time coloring what I was going to cut off. So then when I went to color it, I just put the border right back like you see it and colored. It was quite simple to do. Okay, so there's our water. Oops, what did I do here? Hello. Oh, that's the bottom I forgot to color. Okay, let's finish. I'm not the person to watch if you want to see perfection on this. But maybe I am the person to watch if you don't know what you're doing, because then it's going to make me look really good. Okay. All right. So this is Berry Burst, just like the marker, just like the watercolor pencil. It's Berry Burst. And I cut 2 of these. If you watch me, you've seen me do this before. I cut 2 out. And I'm going to use this or add this painted texture piece. Okay, well, that didn't. Okay, there we go. So let's add painted texture. This is just a standard size card, 5.5 by 4.25. Okay, now in the past, when I like 2 together because it builds it up a little bit and gives it a little bit more depth. And in the past, I've put them together before I add them to the card. I have since discovered it's much easier if you put the first one down and just add the second one. So that's what I'm going to do. Try to get it right in the center. So if this hurts your heart to cut off part of the print, then don't. Just figure out how to. I'm going to show you a couple of cards where I haven't cut. I mean, I've just cut it down to 5.5 by 4.25 and used the whole front. So I am going to show you several of those. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now let's just put some adhesive on our second one. Okay, so I'm just going to put, not like that, I'm just going to lay this right over the top of the first one, kind of get it into place. Make sure that's good. Ta-da! Oh my goodness, so much easier than the way I used to do it. Hello. Okay, so now I'm going to just take the inside of this. Oh, I think I forgot to cut us. Oh, I did. So proud of myself. Okay, so now I'm going to put in the inside. Here we go. If that is sticking up just a little bit, then just pull the sides up and then put it down again. Oh my goodness, isn't that so beautiful? I, Sandy Hancock, made something really beautiful with watercolor. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, so then I went to my Unbounded Love. I love this Happy Birthday. And so there are 2 dies in Unbounded Love that fit together quite nicely. And then I'm going to build it up with 2 more pieces because it needs a little bit more depth. And of course you could do it with dimensionals, but I prefer to have 3 layers. It just gives it depth, maybe not quite as much as a dimensional. Okay, very, very nice. Okay, then rhinestones. Let's see here. Where are my rhinestones? I forgot to pull those out. Or are they just simply buried? So did I show you the piece that I didn't cut off? I mean that I did cut off? Okay, there's the rhinestones. Okay. And then I'm going to take my Berry Burst marker. Oh, I already colored them. You know why I colored them? I colored them so that they wouldn't be wet. Because sometimes if you change your mind and move a rhinestone that you've colored, it'll leave a little mark on your paper, which makes me really unhappy. Okay, so we're just going to try to put 3 right together. And, okay, and straight would be better. That'll stay. And a third one. Hello. Okay, come on. There we go. Let me see if I got those even close to straight. That center one. Okay, I think that's pretty good. There you go. Okay, now what do we do inside? Inside, I cut out, again, one of these with my Countryside Corner dies. And then what came off of the front here, I'm going to put inside, because I don't think most people are going to expect to see something kind of unusual and beautiful inside. So we're going to surprise everybody when they open this card up. Let me see which way it goes. Not that it really matters. Okay. Or was it the other way? I guess it's this way. I don't think it really matters. Okay. Okay, so we'll just put this inside like that. Is that good? And then we're going to put white in the center. Is there a right and a wrong? No. Both sides look good. So we'll just put our white into the center, and this is where you will write your note. Ta-da! Isn't that going to be a fun surprise? Beautiful. I actually really like this one a lot. It's my favorite, one of my favorite ones. Okay, so what's that? Is that card number 3? Okay, then, all right. Now, card number 4. This, whoops, we can put that away. Card number 4, this is a nasturtium. Yes, I had to ask Siri how to spell nasturtium because I was clueless. So it's a nasturtium. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Okay, now I did this one a little bit differently. This is what the original card looks like. And so I colored the whole thing in. And again, I'm going to show you, I just want to show you what it looks like when you wake up that's what I love to call it. Look what happens when I wake this up with water. It just darkens it. Isn't that fun? Did you guys ever know the song? Wake up a little Susie. Wake up a little Susie. Can't remember any more of the song. Yeah, that was probably the 60s. Okay, now when I colored this, I colored the yellow first. And then I went back and put in the red. And if you look up nasturtium, oh, there's some beautiful combinations of colors, but this was one of them. Yellow, oops, that's green. Yep, don't color that yellow. This was one of the ones that, one of the color combinations that I thought was really, really pretty. So I'm just gonna color this in and wake up the yellow. And then I'm gonna go back in. And I want this pretty solid. That's just me, you know. Again, you don't have to pay. Oops. Let's see. Yeah, I want to wake it up first. Okay. I want to wake it. Oops. Green. Good, Sandy. Wake it up with green. Well, this is going to be an unusual color. Yes. Okay. There we go. I've got yellow in the green, green in the yellow. Okay. Pretty, pretty. I'm going to let that dry just a tiny bit. Go ahead and color in the flower. Aren't these unusual shaped leaves? Again, my friend. Yes, ma'am, I don't know what I would do without my friend who knows about flowers. My mother also was like that. She knew so much about flowers. Oh my goodness. But it didn't take with me. Okay, I'll wake this up. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, now I'm gonna let that dry a little bit more, and I'm gonna show you, this Grateful for You is from a set called Autumn Expressions. Here's what it looks like. So it does have several big greetings you could use in there. Change can be beautiful, have a perfectly lovely day. But isn't this just calling for a big greeting? I thought so. So let me show you how I did it. I got my Stamparatus, and if you don't have a Stamparatus, hopefully you have some other kind of instrument or tool that will help you in this way. So this is mounted pretty straight, so I thought, okay, let me just see where this could go. Right there. I like it. And I'm going to make it red. Okay, so I'll pick it up, grab my red pad, and I know I'm going to want to ink this more than one time. That's why I wanted to use the Stamparatus. See, there's nothing wrong with that, but I would love to have it a little bit brighter. Okay, so let's see what that did. Nice, I love it. Okay, all right, so now we've got our greeting in there. Now, of course, this is pretending like this is the first time I'd done it. So what's to love about this card? It's pretty, but it's just so flat. So I'm thinking, what in the world could I do to keep this thing from being so flat? So what I did, I pulled out my Spotlight on Nature dies. I cut the big one with Daffodil Delight, and then I'm going to cut out the greeting with the second. This is the second one down in this particular set. There are 2 sets of them. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to tape this on. Oh, and also don't forget, if you're using this one that's got so many little details in it, you for sure want to use wax paper, or you are going to be going nuts when you try to poke out each one of those little pieces. You don't want to do that, and you do want to save your sanity. Yeah, it's a good way to save your sanity. Okay, so just put it exactly where you want it. About right there will be good. And put 2 pieces on here. Okay, so now I'm just gonna cut this out and then show you how much fun it is to mount it. So here we go. Okay. Okay, kind of gently lift this out. Yahoo, big hole. All right, then we'll take this out. And I love just banging this thing and get something. But look, there's nothing left in there. And then I just bang the, see how I'm doing? Some of this is stuck. I should have done it more than once. That is what I should have done. Where's my poker? Because normally I don't have to poke these out. This is like slave labor right here. Yeah, if you run it through a couple, why didn't I run it through a couple times? I think it's because I was so excited. Oh, yes, if you run it a couple of times. What is that? Hello? Huh, okay. Don't know how that got on there. Yeah, if you run it through a couple of times, you will not have to do this little pokey. So, there we go. Oh, look at all that mess. Hi-ya! Okay, can't get rid of that at this moment. Okay, so now we've got this, and I'm going to mount it onto the yellow with dimensionals because it needs, see, the problem was, oh wait, you know what? I think, have I already cut this down? No, I need to cut it down. Okay, so here's my card. And I'm going to cut about 1/8 of an inch off the right-hand side. So this is 6. If I'm going to cut it down 1/8 of an inch, I'm just going to take off a little bit, not much. Okay, there you go. Then I'm going to turn it around. It needs to be 5.5 because this is going to be my entire card front. I'm not mounting it with any layers at all. There we go. See, this is why you want to cut before you color. Okay. Put that off. Okay, okay, then I need this to be 4 1/4, and it's 4.5. So I think I'm going to take maybe 1/8 of an inch off of this side and Yikes! Oh my goodness, that's not a 1/2 inch. That was like 1/8 of an inch. That was like a 1/4 of an inch. Oh, Mama Lucia. I did not mean to do that. But what's done is done. Okay, I still see a couple of pieces in here. I meant to take 1/8 of an inch. That's what I meant to do. But alas and alack. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go ahead and mount this. So this is my full-size card. And if it isn't exact, which it isn't, then you can just go back and trim up. Oh, let me put my die away. You can just go back and trim the main card to fit what you cut. So let's just go ahead and put this on. Putting lots of adhesive on this. Okay, so this is going to go like this. Okay, so we want to get it right on the corner. There we go. Okay, looks good. However, boy, I really got carried away when I cut it that way. Woo! I better go trim that down right now. So let me do that on my big cutter. Okay. Yeah, that is actually not what I had in mind, but you know what? I think I can kind of adjust the, oh, I still didn't get it completely trimmed. I can adjust it. Gosh, what in the world did I do? Cut it too much. Oh, well. Okay. Cut it to 5.5 by 4.25. Maybe if you're not doing it on a video, I think this will still be pretty. Okay, then I'm going to mount this with dimensionals. It just gives the card some interest. You know, if you put a greeting in there, the card is pretty, but it's so flat. So that's what I was trying to get away from, is just having a completely flat card. And honestly, I don't usually do most of my cutting with this particular cutter, so I think that's why I got a little bit carried away there. Okay, then now this one I am going to have to just color afresh. Do you want to see my tip? Believe it or not, this still colors really well, even though it's an absolute disaster. So red, so I'm going to do red. And then I'll just hope I get them in the right place. Oh, you know what? I did a big, medium, and a big, large rhinestone, a medium rhinestone, and one small rhinestone. Okay, here we go. You're going to need to go in the first spot correctly so that I don't have to pick them up again. Because that's when you can really, well, this is getting some of the color off as I go. Okay, I think about there. Woo, these are so pretty. Okay, then we're going to take a medium one, about right there. And we'll take a small one, about right, oops, hello, see right there? So now I've got to get that right there. Okay, all right, so there you go. It just saves it from being completely flat, and I just like it lifted up like that. So here we go. That was the nasturtium. All right, so there's the nasturtium. And then I'm going to show you a card I did exactly the same way. These are blueberries. And when I was trying to figure out, actually I was trying to figure out this and that the one page that has all greenery on it. I'll show you that one. I'm going to show you this card next. And I was talking to my friend and I went, oh my word, I don't know what to do. And she said, well, these are blueberries. So, okay, so I went and got blueberry bushel. She said, do you have a printer? And I said, yes. And she said, why don't you copy them off and practice? I went, okay, that is brilliant. So that is exactly what I did. So here are my blueberries. So I took my blueberry bushel and colored it in, and I went, ooh, my, that is way too dark. I am not happy with that at all. And so then I thought, okay, no problem. I'm going to get some ink in the lid, open it up. So I'm just trying, right? I'm just practicing. And I thought I'm just going to practice getting a little bit of blue and coloring a blueberry. I went, oh my word, this is going to work. I got so excited because see, if I had practiced on my real thing, I would have done that. And I would have been very, very sad. So I just thought my friend was absolutely brilliant. And that's exactly how I did the blueberries. And then this is the very lightest pink that we have, just this one. So light bubble bath for the little tiny flowers. And then I think I used Granny Apple Green for the greenery. So let's look at it again. Yeah, I did use Granny Apple Green. So again, Grateful for You, that's Autumn Expressions. Spotlight on Nature Dyes, the Tinsel Gems 4-pack. Granny Apple Green, Blueberry Bushel, and Light Bubble Bath. If you want to take a picture of that, it's exactly what I used on this card. That's pretty refreshing looking, isn't it? I was pretty happy with that. Okay, so there's our blueberries. Okay, now this one, oh my word, I go, what in the world do you do with this one? And so my friend goes, well, find 3 greens you like. I went, okay, that's a great idea. And so this one also I had copied off because how do you find 3 greens when you don't even know what you're doing? And so here you see me, you know, practicing, and I couldn't decide what I was doing, and I'm going back and forward, and then I thought, oh my word, get your color wheel out. You guys, these are now, here's the number 166481 for $12.50, and they are available. I noticed yesterday they're available again. 166481 for $12.50. So here's what I did. I just, you know, turned this around until I knew I wanted greens, and I wanted 3 greens. And I went, look at this. How about Shaded Spruce, Shy Shamrock, and Pretty Peacock? So I started trying those out. And that's exactly what I ended up doing. Let me show you what I ended up with. I was pretty happy. Okay, so here's your print, and here's the finished product. So these are all light. This is Pretty Peacock Light. Shaded Spruce, the big elephant ears are Shaded Spruce Light. And then the ferns are Shy Shamrock. Let me see if I wrote those down. I don't know if you can see them or not. Shy Shamrock, Pretty Peacock, and Shaded Spruce. And I don't really know what to call this. It's just greenery. I took the So Happy to Celebrate You out of Layering Leaves. But yeah, this color wheel, it's like if you don't need it, you don't need it. But when you need it, you really need it. And it just saved me. Like, wow, those colors are perfect together, but I would never have known what to choose. So keep this in mind as something to add to your collection. And so I just wanted to show you, I did this one the same way. So I got it colored in, got it cut down, and then let me grab my, let's see, what did I do with my, oh, they're right here. Okay, so this time I'm doing 3 layers. And so this is going to be my 3rd layer right there. Oh, but I was looking for the 2nd layer. Okay, the 2nd layer is going to be this one. So here's what I did. After I colored it in, again, I will never color this in again first. I'm going to cut it down first. And this, okay, so it's blends. It's not watercolor. Could you imagine trying to watercolor these little tiny pieces of fern? I mean, I had to be really careful even using my blenders. But there's no way I just know me. I could not stay in the lines using the watercolor brush. So I definitely used my blenders with these. So after I got it colored in, I cut it down, and then let's just say this is cut down. So this is what I did. I put it exactly where I wanted it, and then I laid, yeah, that's my big one. I laid this, because this is the one I'm going to cut out, right? And so I just held it. I pulled this out, taped it down, and went and cut it. So once again, I have a hole in my cardstock. And then I did exactly like you saw before. This one covered up the hole, And then I added, this piece is what I cut out of here, so it just matches perfectly. Isn't that just so cool the way it just blends right in? I love it. And then when you mount it on the card front, you don't see the hole anymore. So this is one of my favorite ones too, even though it's not watercolor. So just this set is very versatile. You can use your watercolor brush or you can use your blends. Okay, so I forget what number that is. Next one. Okay, then this one is Iceland Poppy, and I used Flirty Flamingo and the Rustic Crate die for the little For You. So I did this one exactly the way I showed you the earlier nasturtium. And this is pretty in pink. Oh, I wanted to show you how I did the clouds. Okay, because I think it looks so pretty with the filler. So I decided, I mean, this could have gone this way or it could have gone this way. And then again, the part that I cut out here, I put inside with white inside. I thought, oh, what a nice surprise. I love it. So Iceland Poppy, Flirty Flamingo marker, and the Rustic Crate. Or if you don't have Rustic Crate, you might be able to find another little For You, or maybe you can stick something inside. Okay, so let me find one. Okay, let me just show you this last one, and then I can show you. This is their chrysanthemum. This was the first one I did. So I'm a little heavy-handed here. It's not my favorite one. So when I did the second time, I think I did it a little bit better the second time. So I wasn't quite so heavy-handed here. And then I pulled that out a little bit better. I don't know. I think either, if you didn't, yeah, I don't know. If somebody gets this, I think they're going to be happy with it, but I think this one's just a little bit prettier. But if you wanted to add clouds, and I didn't even add clouds to this one, the little hello is from the citrus. Let's see, I think I pulled that one out. It's from this set, the citrus blooms. You know how we love the beautiful paper that comes with that? So here's the little hello right there, citrus blooms. And again, if you don't have the little hello, see if you can find something that just fits right there. It's like it's a little spot that's just kind of calling for some attention. Okay, now let's say you wanted to add clouds and you were opting not to use the watercolor brush. So here's what I did. I just took Post-it notes. Oh yeah, this was really crazy looking when I finished. I mean, getting ready for it is what I mean. So I just took Post-it notes because, and actually no, you don't have to cut it down first. Sorry to say I would cut it down first, but there's no need to do that. And I'm trying to cover up the lines. There we go. This is actually kind of fun. All right, here we go. And one more spot. Okay, now you can use any blue that you like. If I can find what I did with my, okay, I'm gonna go back. I love the Bashful blue. It's an old color. You use the lightest blue that you have, because I think light blue is always prettier. And then I used an old punch. If you don't have this, maybe you have a different scallop punch that would work. Or, hey, send me an email and say, would you please send me some of these? I'm happy to punch them out for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and then I just, you know how we used to have the big sponges? I don't think we have them anymore. I just cut them, I think, into 8s. And then I'm just going to cover up. And I'm pulling up over this. Okay, let's see. Here's a little spot right here. You're trying to cover up your flower so you don't get the sky in the flower. It goes pretty quickly and it's pretty easy to do. If you want to practice a little bit first, I think I'm already done. Amazing. Okay, so let's take off all of our little cheat sheets because I can use these again for something. So I'm not going to just toss them. Okay. Now, you can just see the difference. You know, this one's fine, but I do love it filled in. And then I'll cut this one down and mount it just like I did that one. Okay, so either way, use your watercolor brush with water and blue, or you can do blue clouds. Okay, so now let's see. I think I did 8 prints. So I'll put out one of those. What was this one? Iceland Poppy. It goes right there. Oops, what was that? Was that the nasturtium? Oh, I've got it on this one. Oh, nope, that's the freesia. Okay, let me put this one there because it's got the words on it, the freesia. Here's the greenery. Here's the chrysanthemum, taking up more than its share of room. Let's see, what else do I have? Okay, I've got the blueberry. These are not all going to fit. Blueberries, I think I can move this up a little bit. And what is this one? I'm still missing one. Oh, that's the mouthful. I don't think you can see the bottom of that. Nasturtium. Okay, what's hiding? Something is hiding. But I don't know. Oh, the sunflower. The sunflower is hiding. And, okay. So, what am I going to do? Well, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there's 8 out of the 12. And then I'll show you the ones that I didn't color. Okay, so if you want to take a picture, I think you can get most of that in. Let me see. I think I can, yeah, maybe I can add this one over here a little bit. Okay, so see if you can get a picture if you want all of the ideas. And again, you know, color them with your blends, color them watercolor. And was I just getting ready to say something else? Oh, I was going to show you the ones I didn't do. Okay, so let me show you the ones I didn't do. Okay, there's the blueberry again. Remember, there's 2 of each. There's the second one. Okay, this one looks, to me, it looked like a lot of work, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with a frame like that. But you may have a picture, you may have a perfect idea of what to put in there. So that'll be one that I'll do later if I do it at all. Okay, so there's 2 of those. Now this one actually is very pretty, and it was one of the first ones I colored in, and my friend and I both agreed that it looked like a kindergartner had done it, and so I am not going to show you that one. It was very, very sad. I don't want you crying during my video. Okay, this one, I wasn't quite sure what it was, neither was my friend, and so I thought, not sure what I would do with that, so I'm going to hold off on that. Maybe somebody else will have a brilliant idea with it. And then the poinsettias, of course, are beautiful, and I may get around to doing those. I've seen these done, and they're very, very pretty. I just have so many Christmas cards, I wasn't sure that I was going to do it at this moment, so I didn't get it done for the video. So here you go. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed all the ideas, and just remember that this is watercolor. Here we go again. And I'll just hold it like this if you want to take a picture if you haven't taken it yet. The number, the price, the prints. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.